Good day, yogis. This is Stephen Chang coming to you live from Simha Yoga Lab in Jersey City, New Jersey. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule as well as my payment information for Venmo and for PayPal. Venmo is my preferred way of payment. My handle is Simha Yoga Lab, and the 4-digit ID code is 8096 if you're prompted for it. Classes are $10. If you're having a difficult time now, $5 is fine. Please do the best you can. I'm streaming on Instagram and Facebook, and the videos are uploaded to those two platforms. I also upload the same videos to my YouTube channel, Simha Yoga Lab. Now, if you're not actually streaming with me, and you're watching the videos anytime throughout the day or in the future, or if your audio and video is a little bit shaky on your Instagram and Facebook, I recommend for you to go to my YouTube instead. YouTube has far better quality for video and audio, as well as being able to pull up onto your smart TV for better viewing. So that's my recommendation. I think you'll have a much better experience. However, if you're streaming, you should definitely stay on Facebook in particular, because Facebook has also better quality than Instagram as well. All right, so today's class is open flow. It is level 1 and level 2. So there are some variations here that I give to many of the poses. If you're newer to my practice, welcome. And if you're working with any special conditions, limitations, or injuries, please be mindful that if I'm giving a variation or any kind of poses are a little bit out of your range, it is important for you to pull back, make some good decisions about what is appropriate for your body and what is not. So please don't push your body to the point of injury. Always be mindful about what your abilities are, right? And work accordingly. So if you want to skip some of the variations, by all means, skip them, stick to the basics, maybe even go to a modification if that works better for you. So keep all that in mind. All right, so for those of you with tighter hips and a tight lower back, I recommend elevation with a block or with your blankets or towels. Okay, sit up tall, let the palms face up. Fingers come together on the draw, thumb and index fingers touching. Grounding evenly through your seat, let the shoulders broaden. And start to regulate your breath by breathing only through your nose. Start to let your inhales even out with your exhales. And through your breath, let the mind start to quiet. Ujjayi your breath whenever you're ready. Three arms together, inhale. Keeping the eyes closed, hands together in prayer or from the heart, pressing the thumbs into your heart, heart back into the thumbs, lifting the heart up toward the sky, setting your intention for your practice, devoting your practice to someone or something or to yourself, your supreme self that lives within your heart. Mantra for purification, purifying the space in which you practice yoga. Call and response. Om Pavitraha, Om Pavitraha, Pavitrava, Pavitrava, Sarva Vushtan, Sarva Vushtan, Gato Biva, Yaha Smarit, Budrikakshan, Sapahya, Bihendraha, Suchi, Suchi. Beginning to open the eyes and let the palms face up. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, the right ear to the right shoulder, right hand to the left side. Elongating through the left side of the neck. Chin toward the right shoulder. Release back to center. Drop the right hand. Left ear to the left shoulder. Left hand to the right side. And then the chin toward the left shoulder. Release back to center. Drop left hand. Chin toward the chest. Big circles with the head in one direction. Ear to one side. Roll it back. Opposite side. Roll the center. A few more rounds in that same direction. Take back center and pause. Opposite direction. And back to center again. Lift the chin parallel to the floor and neutral spine. Coming off your blocks, extending the legs forward, separating the feet. Hands support to either side and turn your toes toward each other. And roll out. Draw in, roll out. Draw in. Outer rotation, circling. Back to center, switching around. And then back to center again. Cross your shins. Opposite shin on top. Raise the arms up high, extend. Twist to the right on the exhale. Back to center, arms up. Exhale, other side. Back to center again. Side bends. Right hand down. Left arm overhead. Back to center. Other side. Back to center again. Legs forward, forward fold. Take it back up. Swing the legs back behind you, down dog. Start to pedal out the legs. Walking out side to side. Alright, take it back to stillness. Inhale, raise your right leg up, three-legged dog. Right knee toward the nose, around the spine. Kick it up, open up the hips and bend the right knee. Extend the right foot back up, step it forward. Warrior one. Open it up, warrior two. Reverse warrior. Side angle. Right hand inside the foot. That's difficult for you to touch down. Take the right arm to top the right leg instead. Left arm reaching up. Inhale, take back up. Reverse warrior. Lengthen out the right leg. Triangle. Tip the left hip slightly back. Reach right hand further forward. Right hand directly to the floor. Or, if you need to modify, right hand can go higher up on the shin. If you have a little bit more range, you might want to go a little bit lower on the shin. Left arm reaching up, that's your triangle. Inhale, take it back up, reverse triangle. Bend the front knee, hands to the floor, right foot stepping back, and lower all the way down to the belly. Take the hands wider off your mat and slightly forward. Shift your fingertips, tenting your fingers. Then lift the elbows up, kiss your shoulder blades toward each other, and then press into your fingers. Lift up for baby cobra variation. So your belly and your lower ribs stay on the floor. Alright, lift the elbows up, engage out the back by kissing the shoulder blades even more, and then lift up a little higher. So now your belly and your lower ribs away from the floor. One more time. Lift the elbows up, engage your upper back. Lift up even higher. Maybe your fullest extension with your arms, or keep a slight bending of the elbows. So this is your cobra pose, variation with your arms. And start to release, lower all the way down. Walk your hands back, and we're shifting to your child's pose. Join the seat toward the heels. Variation and dolphin push-ups. So lower your forearms down, elbows on the floor. Grab opposite elbows to measure out your shoulders. Take the hands into a fist. So you have your options of interlacing your hands or wrapping one hand over the other. Once you have that positioning, shift your knees, lift your toes off the floor. Draw forward, pass your fist, exhale, press it back. Draw forward, press back. Draw forward, press back, let's take 10. Forward, back is 4. Forward, back is 5. Forward, back is 6. Forward, back 7. Forward, back 8. Forward, back 9. Forward, 10. Release all the way, let the hands come back to the shape of down dog, and then tuck the toes under and lift the knees. Inhale, raise your left leg up, three-legged dog. Left knee in toward the nose and around the spine. Kick it up, open up the hips, bend the left knee. Extend the left back up, square off. Step the left forward, back heel down, warrior 1. Open it up, warrior 2. Reverse warrior, side angle. Left hand inside the foot, right arm up. Or modify, elbow to top left leg, lift up away from the thigh, and raise your right arm. So you have your two options, your full pose or your modified. Inhale, take it back up. Reverse warrior. Lengthen out the left leg, triangle. Tip the right hip back, reach your left hand forward. So you can take the left hand directly down for your full triangle, or take the left hand to top the shin a little bit higher, or a little bit lower if you have more range. Inhale, all the way back up. Reverse triangle. Bend the front knee, hands to the floor. Left foot stepping back, and again lower all the way down to the belly. Take the hands a little wider, take the hands further forward. Now this time, rather than pointing the index, the middle finger straight forward, I want you to rotate it slightly out to the side at a 45-degree angle with your hands. Shift to your fingertips again. Lift the elbows up. Engage your upper back. Lift up, baby cobra. Lift the elbows up again. Engage your upper back. Lift up a little higher. Lift the elbows up. Engage your upper back. Lift up even higher. Bhujangasana, cobra. And start to lower all the way back down. Walk your hands back in. Child's pose. This time, we're taking full dolphin push-ups. Draw the elbows down again. Grab opposite elbows to line up your shoulders with your arms. Take the hands into fist. This time, either interlacing with the other thumb on top, or wrap the other hand on top. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees. So this is your full dolphin this time, 10 times. Inhale, chin forward past your fist and lower. Exhale, press back as 1. Inhale forward, exhale back 2. Inhale forward, exhale back 3. Inhale forward, exhale 4. Inhale forward, exhale 5. Inhale forward, exhale 6. Inhale forward, exhale 7. Inhale forward, exhale 8. Inhale forward, exhale 9. Inhale forward, exhale 10. Draw the knees back down. Walk your hands back forward, down dog. Inhale, right heel up. Exhale, right knee in toward the nose. Kick it up, open up the hips, bend the right knee. Extend the right foot back up, step it forward. Warrior one. Exhale, open it up. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Exhale, half moon. Right hand forward, about a foot from your toes, a little off to right side, so you're actually in a slight diagonal. Tip it forward. Step left side over your right, reach your left arm up. Now for those of you who want to use your blocks, if you have a block or a book, that slight elevation will make the pose a lot easier for some of you, right? If you don't need your block, it's your right hand on the floor, on your fingertips, right? In this pose, fingertips are better than palms to the floor. Take the left hand down to the floor, square off your hips. Left knee behind the right heel and lower, and lift back up 5 times. Left knee behind the right heel, lower, lift back up. Left knee behind the right heel, lift. Left knee behind the right heel, lift. Left knee behind the right heel, lift. Open up the hips, bend the left knee, and standing split with a sideward scorpion. Raise your left leg back up, step it back down. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Hands to the floor, right foot stepping back. Lower all the way down to the belly. Reach your fingertips back, reach your toes back. Inhale, lift up, Shavasana, locust pose. So your feet and your thighs are off the floor, your chest and upper back off the floor. Fingertips are reaching back. Now, if you have a little bit more lift in you, lift even higher and hold. 3, 2, and 1. Release, child's pose. Walk your hands back in, sitting on top of your shins. Take eagle arms, reaching the arms forward. Right arm underneath the left. Lift the elbows up, gaze up. Exhale, ground just your mid and upper back. So your elbows are working toward your ribs, your fingertips are reaching forward. Take it back up, twist to the right. Back to center, twist to your left. Back to center, release your hands, wrap the hands back behind you, broaden your shoulders, reach your knuckles back, lift the heart center up, gently looking up as well. Come back to neutral, releasing hands, arms up. This time, left arm underneath, eagle arms, lift the elbows up, gaze up. Exhale, ground just your mid and upper back, elbows toward the ribs, fingertips reach forward. Take it back up to neutral. Twist to your left. Back to center. Twist to the right. Back to center. Release. Wrap the hands back behind you. Take the other thumb on top. Broaden. Reach your knuckles back. Lift up. Gaze upwards. And release. Hands forward. Down dog. Inhale, left heel up. Exhale, left knee toward the nose. Inhale, kick it up. Open up the hips, bend the left knee. Extend the left foot back up, step forward. Warrior one. Exhale, open it up. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, half moon. Left hand forward about a foot, look off to left side. Use your left hand to block if that's necessary. Take the right hand down to the floor, square off your hips. Raise your right leg up, open up the hips, bend the right knee as you fold forward in a standing split with a sideward scorpion. Raise your right leg back up, step the right foot down. Sorry, I forgot this part. Raise your right leg up. Right knee behind the left heel, take it down. Inhale, kick the right leg back up. My apologies. Right knee behind the left heel, kick it back up. Right knee behind the left heel, kick it back up. 2 more. Right knee behind the left heel, kick it back up. Right knee behind the left heel, kick it back up. Now, step in. The right foot all the way back. Warrior 2, reverse warrior. Hands to the floor. Left foot, stepping back plank. Lower all the way down to the belly. This time, reach your hands back, bending the knees. Grab your feet. On the inhale, lift. Lift the thighs, kick the feet back, using that to help you lift your chest. Now once you're up, lift. Even higher through the upper back lifting for 3, 2, and 1. Release. Child's pose once again. Take it back up. Sitting on your shins. Reach your arms forward and up. Bend your left elbow. Right hand to your left elbow. Lean it back for back bend. Come back to neutral. Reach your right hand back behind you for the upper left shoulder blade. Either fingertips reaching toward each other, or if you have the full bind, take the full bind. And then lift up and back. Come back to neutral spine. Releasing your binds. Right hand to a fist. Extend the right arm out. De-rotate your fist to let the fist face up. Bend your right elbow, releasing your right hand. Reach up, left arm up, arms alongside. Take the arms back up, bend your right elbow, left hand to the right elbow, lean it back for a back bend. Come back up to neutral. Keeping your right arm, release your left hand back behind you, reaching for the right shoulder blade. Now, if you're not able to bind and this is all you're doing, perfectly fine to stay here. Or, if you're working for the full bind, go ahead and reach for your full bind. Wherever you are, lift up and lean back. Take it back to neutral. Reconstruction of the joints. Releasing the binds. Left hand to a fist. Extend the left arm out. De-rotate your fist. Bend your left elbow. Release your left hand. Reach up. Arms alongside. Right? So, just to explain the last part, right? Reconstruction of the joints. Basically, when you reach your arms back behind you, what happens is you rotate in the shoulders, and then when you bend your elbows and you reach up, your shoulders rotated, your elbows rotated, right? So that is a little bit of a pull or stress into those joints, right? So when you hold it for a little bit of time, especially if you're not very flexible, and it's a little bit of a reach because your shoulders are tight or elbows are tight, even if you can bind, right, it is still a little bit of rigorousness, a little bit of stress to those 2 points, right? So when you come out of it, what you want to do is de-rotate it or neutralize it, right? So I will demonstrate again, right? So right arm reaching back, right? So we started here. When you reach up and behind you, you rotate at the shoulder so that when you bend the elbow and you reach back, there's a rotation there, so that when you're reaching back to take the bind, this could be a very tight spot for many of us, right? Or even if you're very comfortable in doing this, you're still rotating, right? So what's important is that when you come out of the pose, you reconstruct the joints. This is something I learned from Alison West from Yoga Union in New York City. So I think it's a really great way to address this rotation that happens to your shoulders, right? So release, left hand to your fist to engage that arm. When you extend the arm out, right, you're in the wrong position, so that you need to de-rotate. So that when you de-rotate your shoulder. When you bend your elbow, you release your elbow. Then you release your hand, extend up, that releases everything. So I think it's a very, very smart way of taking that rotation that happens in the pose and neutralizing it by de-rotating everything. So it's a very methodical way and step-by-step of coming out of the pose. And for those of you who have been doing it with me, or if you're doing it for the first time today, right? Feel the difference of coming out of the pose and not doing any of that stuff, releasing and going to the next thing. You still have that tightness, and then you're already moving to the next thing, right? Versus if you methodically de-rotate and release everything, right? It just gets your joints into, and the muscles around the joints to a much better place than if you just kind of like release it and go on to the next thing, right? So I really like it. When I teach Gomukhasana, the cow arms, it's a really great way. I really prefer to always do that every time I come out of it. So take a note of that and see how it works out for you. Okay, come back to the down dog. We're there for a very long time. So make sure you walk it out side to side. Lots of movement. Get some circulation back. Alrighty, start to walk your feet forward toward your hands. Feet together, knees together. Rise up, chair. Stepping on the left foot, pick up the right knee. Right hand to right knee, or yogic toe lock, and extend. Left arm goes out, counterbalance, and then open up the knee or the heel to right side. So we have the yogic toe lock, right hand to big toe, extend. Now, if you don't have the full extension because of tight hamstrings, you can definitely bend the knee, right? That's perfectly fine. Now, yogic toe lock, very difficult for you. Better to take hand to knee instead. Right? Alternatively, you have a lot more flexibility. Hand to heel and extending will give you a lot more stretch into your right hamstrings and into the hips. Alright, square back to center, step the right foot down, chair, hands together in prayer, twisting to the right, left elbow to the outer right knee, make sure you line up the knees, hands together in prayer, and twist. Then, if you're taking this into side crow, taking your hands to the floor, over to the right side, shift forward, pick up the feet, and hold. When you're ready, square back to center, chair. Stepping on the right foot, pick up the left knee. Left hand to left knee, or yogic toe lock, extend. Right arm out, counterbalancing, and opening up the leg to the side. So the yogic toe lock, hand to knee if you're a little less flexible, or hand to heel if you're more flexible. Begin to release. Step the left back down chair, hands together in prayer. Twist your left. Hook the right arm to outer left knee. Make sure knees are lined up. Hands together in prayer and twist. And then for those of you taking your side crows, over to the left. Start to break. Take it back to chair. Exhale, dive forward. Regular crow pose. Hands forward about a foot and a half. Either your index fingers or your middle fingers point straight forward, bend the arms back to meet the knees, and then shifting forward. When your elbows line up over your wrists, is where your balance starts to happen. So for those of you who are just beginning to take the shape, right? For those of you who are good with your crow, keep going, right? You're holding, take your variations as you need. For those of you who are just beginning to take your crow pose, right? You want about 1.5 foot distance between your toes and your hands. What happens is, if you take your hands too close, you are already in a pretty vertical position. You can't go forward anymore. Going forward anymore will throw off your balance. It will be a face plant. If your hands are too far away and you can't reach, right, then also doesn't work. For most of us, about average height, this 1.5 foot distance is actually pretty good. So, once you plant your hands to the floor, you want to roll the eyes of the elbows forward, so that when you bend your elbows go back instead of going out to the side. All right, going back is where you want it. The knees to the back of the arms, or to the side of the arms, your choice. Gaze forward. Now notice how my elbows are this far back, and my weight is back toward my heels. What I want is through the tiptoe action, shift away forward. When my elbows line up over the wrists, is where the weight bearing starts to happen, and the weight transfer goes far enough forward that my toes get lighter. When they get lighter, maybe they come off the floor. So this is crow pose. All right, when you're ready, walk or jump back. Chaturanga, dog, down dog. Inhale, raise your left leg up. Step the left foot forward. Crescent moon, right knee comes down. Walk your hands to top of thighs. Now, if you need padding to your right knee, take padding to your right knee with your blankets or your towels. Lunging forward, getting into the quad stretch. Make sure left knee lines up over the heel, pretty much a vertical line, and the front heel must be flat to the floor. Then when you're ready, arms up, Venus Mudra. For those of you who want to take your options, go ahead and take them. If you want to just stay here in crescent moon with the arms up, or even in modified position, that's great. Those of you taking variations, you can take the heart opener by rocking the hands back behind you. You can side bend one direction. You can side bend the other direction. You can also bind your hands with foot for your mermaids. You can wrap the hands back behind you, heart opener. Right? So you have many options. Two more breaths here. All right, let's take a twist here together. Start to break. Let the hands come to the inside of the left foot. Turn the left toes out. When you turn the left toes out 30 to 45 degrees, so does your left thigh. So the thigh and the foot turns out about the same angle. That goes into the hips and the hip flexors, right? Then walk your right hand just a tad wider. So now you have a wider triangle, which you're balancing on. Then reach your left arm up and behind you for the half bind. Stack your shoulders. Now keep in mind this, you're not rolling to the side of the leg. You are leaning the hips straight forward. The rotation happens from the movement in the spine, not in the dropping of the hips and moving of the hips, okay? So make sure you clarify that. Now this half bind, you can stay here, or you can bend your right knee, grab the left hand to the right foot and kick it away. As you kick the foot away, that stretches your left arm, left shoulder. It might even lean the torso up and back a little bit, giving you more extension, more back bend as you rotate. Start to release. Lizard. Walk your hands forward and lower your forearms to the floor. Keep the left knee turned out to the side. Now, if your forearms coming down is rather difficult, and you have a block or even a blanket, right? Any kind of elevation. it might be helpful to take elevation. Alternatively, if you don't have any props, you can just extend your arms, right? And just lean forwards and downwards. And ideally, this is what we're looking for in the lizard. Lift the elbows up, walk your hands back in, turn the left toes back forward. Shift the weight back toward the right knee so it's a half split. So your hips are lined up over the knee, flex your left foot, supporting with the hands. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, forward. All right, start to release. You're going to sit down in Virasana, half Virasana. So you're going to shift to your left and take the seat down. Now notice that the foot is a little bit away from the hips so that you can actually insert your hand between the foot and the hip and then the inner thighs together. Now this is too tight for your hips and it's very stressful for your knee and your ankle of the right leg. Then you want to elevate and sit on a block. That elevation makes everything so much more accessible. Already, you're not straining at the hips, straining at the quads, knees, shins, and top of the foot, right? And then that way, you can take your inner thighs together a lot more easily. So again, coming back to the alignment, your foot should be wide enough so that you can insert your hand in between your foot and your hips. Your inner thighs are toward each other. Left hand to the floor, right arm up, and fold forward once again. Alright, so this is like a half split, except you're sitting down into a half Virasana, half heron pose. Alright, make your way back up. Lift the seat back up, step the left foot back down, frame your left foot, tuck the back toes, and lengthen over the left leg, coming into your pyramid. Now for those of you who need a little bit of help with your pyramid and you have your blocks are next to your ankles. So that when you take the pose and you lift and lengthen, you should have pretty vertical arms to support the structure of this pose. Now, if you're a little higher on the blocks and it's too much, you can always go a little bit lower. You can go even lower, right? To the point that if the lower setting is still too high, it might be true that you can take the hands directly to the floor. 2 more breaths. Bend the front knee, ground the palms, kick the left leg up, 3-legged dog. Kick it. Land that left shin to the floor. Now left thigh, again, angles up to the side, 30 to 45 degrees. Hands supported, inch your right knee further back, untuck the toes. Walk your hands back and sit up tall. Now you want to be on top of the left shin, and you're probably not sitting down. Most of us are not going to be able to sit down. If you end up sitting down and you know that you're not flexible, you're probably tilting to the left, and you're going to feel like you're dumping all the way to the left side, and then you're crunching the waist on the right side. That tells me that you are curving your spine, which is not what we want. We want a vertical spine, which means you have to be centered. Okay? So your pelvis should be level, your spine should be straight, and then if you did this right with the left knee, left thigh angled out to the side about 30 to 45 degrees, you should be pretty balanced, and you may not even need your hands to help you balance. Once you have all that, go ahead, walk your hands forward, forearms down. You can also take your hands as pillows and rest your forehead, or the forehead all the way down, arms forward. All those are your choice. Alrighty, beginning to break. Walk your hands back in. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and gently press it back to your down dog. Walk it out side to side. Alright, second side. Come back to your down dog, right leg up. Step the right foot forward, left knee comes down, crescent moon. Extra padding to your left knee if you need it. Hands to top of the thighs, and lunge forward. Once you have your lunge, right knee over the right heel, the heel's flat for anchoring down and support. Then you're ready, arms up, Venus Mudra. And then from there, you have many options. Whatever you want to take, just repeat what you did on the first side. Hands back behind you for bind, heart opener. Side bending to the right. Side bending to the left. Hand to foot binding for your mermaids. All of those are good options, whatever you want to take. Two more deep breaths. Alrighty, hands to the floor, either side of the left foot, half split. Tuck the left toes under, shift your hips back. Line up the hips over your left knee, flex your right foot, hands to support. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. So you should feel a nice right hamstring stretch here, and the right calf stretch. Now release out that pose just a little bit. Let the left toes start to point outwardly, a little off to the left side. Supporting with your hands, shift to your right, and then take the seat down. Half Virasana. Right? So again, if you're taking this pose without the blocks, your left foot should be a little bit off to the side, and you should be able to insert your hand between the foot and the hip. Your inner thighs together. Leg is extended. If you are taking a block to the seat, right? Those of you a little bit tighter at the hips, in the knees, right? This makes it far easier for you to achieve this pose, right? So take the elevation with the block or with your blankets if you need it. Then, right hand down, left arm up, and fold over the right leg. So make sure you still honor after you adjust the pose, right? You sit up on a block or a blanket, you still have the foot to the outside of the hip. You should be able to insert your hand and then the inner thighs together. Start to release, lift back up, step the right foot down, frame the right foot, tuck the back toes, and lengthen over that right leg. And again, use your hands to blocks if you need them. If not, hands to either side of the right foot, near your ankles. Alright, bend the front knee, ground the palms. Kick the right leg up, three-legged dog. Right knee in toward the nose, pigeon. Land the shin to the floor. You're in a pointed toe position on top of the shins. Right knee, right thigh angles out to the side. Hands supporting. Hinge your left knee further back and tuck the toes. Walk your hands back as well. Elongate. Once you're nice and level, feeling pretty good, you might not even need your hands. Then you're ready to come forward to the forward fold. Again, forearms down. Pillows with the hands rest your forehead, the forehead all the way down, arms forward. Your choice. And again, for the next bunch of breaths, it is your variation. Either stay in this passive pigeon and just fold it forward, whatever arm variations, or come back up and take any variations you like. So just repeat what you did on the first side. Alrighty, starting to finish up. Lift back up, walk your hands back in, down dog. Press it back and walk down. Alright, come back to stillness. Walk your feet forward toward your hands. Take the seat down, extend the legs forward. Seated spinal twist. Left leg extending forward. Step the right foot over. This is your half variation. If your hips are tight, you probably want to take this option, right? So this makes it easier for you to grab both seats. However, if you are able to take a full pose, left heel comes in, right leg over, right? Wherever you are, right hand to the floor for support, left arm is up and twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, come twist to the left. Back to center again, switch legs. Right, so right leg forward, left leg on top, or right heel comes in first, left leg on top, your choice. Left hand behind you, right arm is up, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist, and hook the arm to the leg. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, come to twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. Extend both legs forward. Inhale, take the arms up high. Exhale, forward fold. Take it back up. Let the feet separate wider than your mats. Left hand to the floor. Right arm is up. Inhale, lengthen. Slightly rotate to the left. Reach forward. Grab the outside of the left foot with your right hand. Re-lengthen your spine and fold. Inhale, take it back up, switch side. Right hand down, left arm up, and on the exhale, reach forward, grab the outside of the right foot with your left hand, re-lengthen, neutral spine, and fold. Inhale, take it back up. Let's reach the arms forward and grab the insides of the heels if you can, otherwise anywhere to the inside of the legs, and fold. Take it back up, let the feet go a little bit wider. Press your left hand to the inside of the left leg. Extend the right arm out, let the right palm flip to face up, reach up and overhead. As you then slide the left hand alongside the leg as leverage, resistance, let the shoulders continue to stack one over the other as you reach further and further out to the side. Now, if you get to a point where you're low enough and your forearms can touch down, then take the forearms down and press your arm to the inside of the leg. Again, that gives you resistance to stack your shoulders. Reach. If you can bind, right hand to your left foot, go ahead and bind. Release, take it back up, and twist to the right. Back to center. Twist to your left. Back to center. Press your right arm to your right leg. Extend the left arm out. Palm to face up, overhead. As you slide the right hand alongside the leg and use that resistance to stack. If you're going far enough, your right forearm can come down. Keep pressing the arm to the inner leg. Keep extending, keep stacking. If you have to bind, the hand to the foot, take it. Begin to release. Take it back up. Twist to the right. Back to center. Twist to your left. Back to center. Let the feet go wider. So, with your hands on the floor for support, lift the seat. Slide the legs further out and wider. Once you get to a nice width, take the seat down. Start with your hands behind you, right? So you're going to rotate your fingertips upwardly, hands slightly behind you. Lift up, broaden your shoulders, engage your upper back. So there's a slight back bend. Now, gaze instead of looking up, you're looking forward. Think a neutral spine, pretty neutral, because there is a slight upper back bend here, right? Because you're lifting your chest up to broaden your shoulders. So think as neutral as you can, and then push into your fingers to lean forward. As you lean forward, you're going to feel that stretch to the inner thighs, your hamstrings, and hip creases and groin. So make sure you go slow. Once you get to a certain point, you can move your hands forward. Continue to broaden your shoulders, right? Still that mid-upper back bend happening. Then, using your hands to the floor, one breath at a time, incrementally move it forward and get flatter and flatter toward the floor. Begin to release, walk back in. With your hands supporting to the inner thighs above the knees, pull up and your knees will bend. Take the soles of feet together, let the feet go further forward. Again, grabbing the insides of the feet or threading the arms underneath, rounding the spine, come forward. Take it back up. Extend the legs forward. Hands alongside. Using your hands to the floor for support. Sliding the hands out to release onto your back. Once you're on your backs, hug the left knee in. Left arm stays out to a T. And twist to the right. Take it back to center when you're ready. Switch legs, switch arms, and twist the other direction. Back center again, hug both knees in, and then step the feet to the floor. Slide the legs forward, toes are turned out, feet are separated, palms face up, arms alongside the body. Eyes are closed, lips gently touching. Release your neck, your shoulders, your body, your legs. Shavasana, final relaxation. Start to take your breath back in. And start to move the fingers and the toes. Reach the arms overhead, stretching in opposite directions. And then rolling over to the right side. Come up to a comfortable cross-leg position. Reconnecting to an even seat. Lengthy spine, shoulders broad, breath deep. And let the neck be free. Inhale from. Hands together in prayer. Bowing forward, sealing in practice. Come up. Namaste. Thank you everyone for sharing your practice with me today. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule, as well as my payment information for Venmo and for PayPal. Venmo is my preferred way of payment, and my handle is Simha Yoga Lab. The 4-digit ID code, if you're prompted for it, is 8096. Classes are $10 if you're having a difficult time right now. $5 is fine. Please do the best you can. I'm streaming on Instagram and on Facebook, and the videos are then uploaded as postings for your viewing. I also upload the same video to a YouTube channel, which is Simha Yoga Lab. Now, if you're streaming with me, or actually if you're not streaming with me, and the audio and video quality of Instagram and Facebook is rather shaky for you, you might actually want to migrate over to YouTube instead. YouTube has much better video and audio quality, and since you're not streaming, you might as well go to YouTube, right? Also on YouTube, you can pull it up on your smart TV. So it's altogether a much better way to practice, right? And it's a much better visual experience. So that's my recommendation to you. Go to YouTube. All right, anyway, thank you so much, everyone. Be well, take care. I will see you soon.